Oh, now, brown cow. Unique New York. Unique New York. All right, I think we're ready to go here in a moment. I don't see a whole lot of people in here yet, so I'm going to start with the unimportant news first. So that probably means we're going to start with the NBA. Actually, do we got anything for NFL? We got a little bit of Cincinnati Bengals news here. Just kind of the same stuff we already know out of the camp here is Shamar Stewart. And now I think the second round pick for the Bengals, Demetrius Knight Jr., both had problems with the way that the contract was worded. It differed from how the other NFL contracts were worded. So just kind of nice to know they're pissing off their own right away early on. Speaking of being a Bengal that's pissed off, Trey Hendrickson, there's not really any update. It just says here that he's not looking to reset the market. But, I mean, that probably means he's looking for, $35 million over the course of a 4-year deal. So we'll kind of see what happens there. But, again, you've got your top two edge rushers potentially pissed off, one of which did lead the NFL in sacks the last 2 years, and a linebacker who I'm guessing projects to be pretty well if you're taking a inside linebacker in the second round. So, not good for a defense that, it's got some holes in it. Let's just put it that way. So that's your NFL news. NBA, we don't have a whole lot to say, but we do have a little bit to say. What do you mean, calm down? I think I'm pretty calm. I'm pretty tired right now, Sage, and I'm pretty fucking docile. So don't tell me to fucking calm down. When I'm calmed down, you fucking calm down. How's that sound? You fucking calm down. Don't fucking press my bad mood button, Sage. There ain't no need for it. But welcome to the Thundercloud nonetheless, even if you are a fucking troll. A troll that I would kill if this was Valheim. I would fucking kill you with quill arrows. All day, every day. I would shoot you from 50 yards away, Sage. That's how I roll. Let's get to the NBA news. So, I don't think there was any trades today in the NBA. The only thing I do know is that one of the top free agents that was expected to, test free agency, Naz Reid, has signed an extension with the Minnesota Timberwolves on a 5-year pact worth $125 million. So there's one less option for people. But normally this is what happens, because in the NBA you can offer, an extra year and that sort of thing. The thing I don't like about the NBA is they don't have a real salary cap. Granted, MLB doesn't have a salary cap at all. I think I'd rather have the MLB salary cap though than this one. So the NBA does this. They've got the normal salary cap, which everyone exceeds that. Then they've got the luxury tax. Get that right? Then they've got apron 1 and apron 2. So, for example, the reason the Boston Celtics traded Porzingis away and that other fucker was so that they could get out of apron 2, which means because the tax is all percentage based, right? So they would have been paying $500 million instead of $330 million because they're in apron 2 instead of apron A or whatever you want to call it. What kind of salary cap is this? This salary cap is just fucking absolutely absurd. And then you get the fucking bird rates. I do think though that the team that drafts should have the opportunity to offer more years and a bit more money. I think you should do that. You should reward the team that does draft the player. But the NBA, if we're gonna do a salary cap, let's just say, hey, here's $175 million, or here's $250 million. There's your fucking cap, and just go with that. But these salary caps make no sense. You have to have a fucking PhD in business finance to understand how this shit works. Nobody understands how the cap system works in the NBA. I guarantee you, if you ask any of the NBA insiders, they wouldn't be able to give you a breakdown of it. It's just complete and utter bullshit. The only other news I know today is that Masai Ujiri was fired by the Toronto Raptors. So that would be what Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment fired Brendan Shanahan a month ago and now have cut ties with Masai Ujiri. I'm actually not surprised with it. Like, if we actually look at it objectively, so Masai Ujiri started in 2013. He's made the playoffs 8 times, so yeah, I mean, he had a pretty successful run. But, I mean, he hasn't, or not him, but his teams have not made the playoffs in, what? At least 3 years now. And when they did make the playoffs post-Raptors championship, they were like fucking terrible fucking teams. Let's not kid ourselves. So they haven't been relevant for what, like 6 or 7 years now, if you ask me. So I think the firing is not a bad decision, but it's kind of weird that you do it a day after, you know, the NBA draft, when he's like shaking the new guy's hands. Hey, welcome to Toronto. Hey, welcome to Toronto. You're going to love it here. Well, guess what? I'm fucking fired. So the timing is kind of weird. I mean, I think you'd probably rather do that prior to the draft. I'm not sure. I do not know what that means in terms of Giannis Antetokounmpo and their chances of getting Antetokounmpo, or even if that was a plan to begin with. Apparently those two are close, so that could have been a pillar that helped us, you know, lure Antetokounmpo to Toronto. But I don't know. I mean, it's all open to interpretation, that sort of thing. But I think it kind of bodes well. If I'm reading the tea leaves, I would probably say it kind of bodes well that he's not going to, you know, come to Toronto. Him being obviously not Masai Ujiri, because he's got the boot, Giannis Antetokounmpo. So that's our NBA news. Now we need to get to the goddamn fucking NHL draft. I don't know anything about dick when it comes to fucking the NHL draft. I'm going to get the order up. You're going to hear names. You're going to hear no scouting reports. And if you got a fucking problem with that, okay, that's great that Ujiri turned the Raptors around. But he hasn't done well since 2019. We're talking 6 years. He hasn't made the playoffs the last 3 years. When he did make the playoffs, the teams were no good. They weren't real contenders. So yes, he turned. I'm not saying, I legitimately said yes, he was good. He was in 2013 when he started. He made the playoffs 8 times. That's great. But at the end of the day, what have you done for me lately? His plan hasn't been working. His plan has not worked at all. His positionless basketball, like, rebuild, how did that pan? It didn't pan at all. And I don't think that, if I'm being honest with you about Masai Ujiri, I don't think he had any real direction as to what he was trying to do. It didn't seem to me whether he knew if he was buying or selling. I don't think he was committed one way or the other. So I do think there was quite a bit of indecisiveness by Masai Ujiri, and I think he did deserve to get fired, especially with a new regime of ownership coming in. He hasn't done fuck all lately. If they can sign fire Brendan Shanahan, who, you know, did some good things with us. We've been making the playoffs every year with the Leafs, but we haven't been winning shit. Maybe that's good. Maybe what we're saying is, like, we're fucking tired of, like, just being here. Maybe we want to get up here. So I've got no problem with getting rid of Masai Ujiri at all. I have no problem with that. He'll probably sign elsewhere and get some sort of role at GM. He's probably not going to take over as a president anywhere anytime soon. Well, you know, Masai Ujiri's fired. I will say Bobby Webster is next, because if they don't show strides this year, Bobby Webster's getting fired next year. I can promise you that. There's a lot of people in basketball that are good. A lot of people in sports that are good. So if they don't start looking like they're going to get better, I don't think he's necessarily the next president at all. They might want to just bring in their own guy. They might want to look elsewhere. They might want to look around the NBA. We have no idea who's replacing Masai Ujiri, and I don't think it's going to be Bobby Webster, in my opinion. But let's get to the NHL Draft. The first round did conclude tonight. We'll track the Raptors, but I mean, what's to talk about with the Raptors? The only thing that's promising was for the last couple months of the season they had a top defense. But that's a small sample size. Can they score the ball? I don't know if they can. I don't really like a lot of their teams. They're going to have to get creative on the trade market. Like, Bobby Webster needs to look at this and be like, okay, like what do we need right now? What do we need? Our guards aren't very fucking good, are they? Who do we got? That fucking Canadian? Yeah, but even even if the Raptors were healthy for the entirety of the season, the Raptors are not a contender. There's no questioning that statement right there. There's no rebuttal that you can make that is going to be accurate. They're not a contender, and they're not a contender today either. They're going to need to make a sizable trade. And it is one that I think the only chance would have been maybe getting Giannis. It's going to take an earth-shattering trade to turn this team around. Yeah, you can have a lot of like puppets around, but you need some guys, at least 2 guys on your team that are like perennial all-stars. And if they're just all-stars, yeah, you might get away with doing what we used to do with DeMar and Kyle Lowry, which is, you might win 50 games, you might win 56 games, but you're not actually a championship material. It wasn't until we got someone who was actually a superstar in Kawhi Leonard that we actually took that next level. So that's all I have to say about that, is we're not even close to those teams. And if you look at the depth of those teams versus the depth of these teams, Ingram was interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I think Ingram was a good pickup, but Ingram never plays. That's a problem. I believe Ingram, they never had Ingram once, okay? So, they did have Ingram after the trade deadline. And Ingram is not a defensive stalwart. He averages over 20 points a game. I know that from the top of my memory. So 19.5 in his career. The last 6 years, he averages 20.8 or higher, maxing out at 23.8. Okay, well, that's fine. That's one good player, but you just said what I said right there. What did I say about Ingram? He never plays. Isn't that a problem? To me, that's a bit of a problem if he's never going to play. I like the chance that they're taking, but if we look at it objectively, the only full season that Brandon Ingram ever played was in the 2016-2017 season when he played 79 games with the LA Lakers. From there, he's went on to play 59 games, 52, 62, 61, 55, 45, 64, and 18 games, respectively. So, the most he's ever played in damn near 10 years is 64 games in a season. So, I don't expect, when they're entering their age 28 season, for their health to improve. I expect for it to stay the same or get worse. So, to me, that's a problem. Yes, when he plays, that's going to be good, but, the guy can't stay fucking healthy. So, that is a huge problem. It's a nice little swing, and it's nice to swing for the fences, but at the same time, if you're only getting them fucking, 40 to 60% of the time, depending on the year. Last year was under 25%. What was his injury last year? Maybe you should look that up and tell me, did he pop his Achilles? Is that why he fucking missed the entire fucking year? Is his Achilles fucking popped? Was he one of those guys? Or tear his ACL? Like, you know, I just don't like the amount of games played that he has, honestly. I like the player, though. I like the player, and I understand the move. I'm not saying it's a bad move by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying what I'm saying, which is just he doesn't play. An ankle sprain kept him out. Alright, so I've learned everything I need to know about Brandon Ingram is he's a fucking pussy. My case is now rested. Alright, let's go over the first round of the NHL Draft, and I will say something about Gary Bettman once I'm done with the first round picks. So with the first overall pick in the NHL Draft, the New York Islanders select Matthew Schaefer, defenseman, out of who knows what school. I believe it was Erie. So that's the first overall pick there is Matthew Schaefer. Second pick went to San Jose Sharks, Michael Missa. We then had Antoine Frondel, a center as well, going to the Chicago Blackhawks. We had a guy named Caleb Desnoyers going to the Utah Mammoth. Brody Martin, center, went to the Nashville Predators with the 5th. Porter Martone to the Philadelphia 76ers. Philadelphia Flyers with the 6th overall pick. Got some guy named James Haggins, a center, going to the Boston Bruins. Jake O'Brien going to Seattle. The Seattle Kraken, I do believe, is the name of their team. I could be wrong. We got Radim Murtka, defenseman, going to the Buffalo Sabres. We've got Roger McQueen going to the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. Benjamin Kindle going to the Pittsburgh Penguins at number 11, center, I believe he's 6'4". Jack Nesbitt, center. Sage, I even did a Gary Bettman impression. Dan and I were talking for over 15 minutes about the Raptors. So if you missed the first overall pick, I'll give you the 12th pick. With the 12th overall pick in the NHL Draft, the Philadelphia Flyers select Jack Nesbitt, center. Welcome to the Thundercloud Nameless. That's right. All over your Batman. Sage, I saw your messages. You told me to calm down. I thought that meant you were here. There's no real breakdown. All I said was the guy that went number one, and that's all there is to it. 13th pick belonged to the Detroit Red Wings. Carter Beer! Sage, Carter Beer! Your boy! BEER! Left winger is coming to town. Fucking dry ice up in here. That's right, you got the fucking beer claw up in there. We got Jackson Smith going to Columbus Blue Jackets, defenseman. Brayton Coots, center, going to the Vancouver Canucks. Victor Eklund going to the Islanders. That's part of a trade that we're going to break next with Montreal. They also got this pick from Montreal as well, I believe. Kashawn Aitchison, defenseman. We then have Calgary, the Flames, taking Cole Rishny, a center. We got Justin Carbonneau, a right winger, being taken by the St. Louis Blues. Peter Andreanov going to the Columbus Blue Jackets with the 20th pick. Cameron Reed going to the Nashville Predators. That's great, defenseman. Is that the fucking pick that fucking George Kittle made? Yeah, I believe you, Gary. I believe you, Gary. Is this your homework, Gary? Yeah, George Kittle is good friends with Nashville. Okay, he's from fucking California. He plays in California. I'm not seeing how he's good friends with Nashville. I'm just saying right now. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm sorry, but that's just a bunch of horse shit, man. That's just horse manure just fucking slopped onto a fucking... I don't even want to talk about it. Bill Zonin went to the Penguins right winger, so they've got 3 picks. Kyle Dubas sucks, though. Logan Hensler, Ottawa Senators, defenseman. I believe that one was announced by Tom Green. William Horkoff, center, taken by Pittsburgh Penguins. We got a right winger, Vaclav Nestreo. All right, that's all you need to know about him. Riker Lee went to Nashville as well. We've got Lyndon Lakovich going to the Washington Capitals. We've got Sasha Bodendine going to the Winnipeg Jets, a defenseman. No idea what that means. Neither does anyone else. Mason West, a center, going to the Chicago Blackhawks. Chicago Blackhawks for now. They'll probably treat him like the Cleveland Indians soon and get rid of that logo and say that being a Blackhawk is somehow fucking offensive. With all due respect. We got Joshua Ravenbergen. Oh, I like that name. Ravenbergen. A goalie. Going to the San Jose Sharks. We've got Henry Brushkovitz, defenseman, going to the LA Kings. And rounding out the first round was the Calgary Flames taking Cullen Potter, a center out of God knows where. So there you have it. The first round breakdown is done. Just remember, the 16 and 17 pick in the draft was because of a trade that we're going to talk about very shortly. They are not the Blackhawks. They are the Blackhawks. He's from Wisconsin. Yeah, he also went to Iowa. I don't give a fuck, man. He's just a fucking pretty boy. And if I fucking meet George Kittle, I'm going to punch him right in the fucking trachea. How's that fucking sound? I'll fucking grab that hair and I'll just fucking hit him with a fucking flying knee like Triple H. Anyways, did you guys not notice? For any of you that watched the draft at all, because I barely did. But I have a tendency when I'm working to cock my head. You know, I cock my head to the right. And I noticed that there's like a little kid a couple times reading a pic or something. And, you know, other people reading the pics as well. And Gary Bettman is reading the pics silently. Did you guys notice that? Did you guys notice that, though? Gary Bettman is literally like, with the, like when they're saying, like, with the 28th pick in the blah, 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 they select blah, blah, blah. He was literally mouthing it. Like, I don't know if he was, like, hoping for them to, like, not fuck up, or if he just really wanted to be in the limelight, being the one announcing the picks. But I don't know. It was fucking weird, man. Like, honestly, just go on YouTube. This is probably a thing on Twitter. I would assume this is a thing on Twitter, straight up. Shout out Gary Bettman. You are a cocksucker, and you have been one since 1993. We've had Gary Bettman since 1993. Can you believe that? And I don't think he likes Canada a whole lot. You think it's just muscle memory going on with him, where he's just like he'd been doing it so long that it's just instilled. Like he really wants to announce that pick. And you know what? I hate Gary Bettman, but he's got the best. Like, if he was a fucking heel in wrestling, he would be the best fucking heel in the world. Just how he talks, like, with the first overall pick. Like, I'm gonna nail that voice. You know, I'm gonna work on that voice every day, because I really want to start sounding a little bit more like Gary Bettman. Honestly, with the 20th pick, like, he just sounds like an asshole. Yeah, he usually announced every first round pick. Okay, so I mean, it was just weird. It was just a weird observation. I mean, there's a lot. Maybe we just gotta bring Gary back. Bring the Gear Bear back and let him do all the goddamn fucking picks. You know, he is gonna be on the Pat McAfee show next week apparently. So I'm gonna actually tune in to see how the fuck he talks. He'll probably sound the exact fucking same. A fucking business tycoon. Sage is saying that the draft today was kind of shitty. You know, this is a safe place to talk. The whole decentralized draft was lame. What do you mean by decentralized draft? I'm not really sure what that means. While you do that, I'm going to just... Oh, like doing it like so that they're just in their own spot or whatever? Like they're in like offices like from around the country instead of all in one spot? I don't know. To me, I don't necessarily care because I don't know what's the excitement in that. If they're all in the same spot, what's the excitement in that? What's to stop them from fucking picking up like 12 different phones? You know what I mean? Rather than it's like one-on-one thing. I don't know. I don't. To me, it doesn't matter. But it's again to me, I don't care about a lot of things. You know what I mean? So that could just be me. While Sage is bitching about the centralized or decentralized draft, we do need to go over the CBA. I think it's all just poppycock, Sage. I think it's all poppycock. I think that the NHL draft did some things right. They're obviously trying to copy the NFL a little bit, trying to bring on celebrities and stuff. They didn't have so much time in between picks from what I saw. It didn't seem like it was a ton of time. I mean, it seemed like it was like 3 minutes between picks late. I could be wrong, though. Now, that I don't understand. I was actually going to bring that up before you did. How does a draft still take 4 hours? Because you got 3 times 32. I mean, how long is the first round of the NFL draft? Because the NFL draft's what, like 15 or 10? Makes no sense, actually. It makes no sense how it takes that time. I don't know. You would think 3 times 12 is what? A lot. I'm trying to think. 3 times... Yeah, they should have been able to get through that in less than 2 hours. Because there's 32 teams, so that's going to be, 96 minutes. Huh. So it wasn't 3 real minutes in between, obviously. So we're talking more like an 8 to 10 affair sort of thing. So they gave us the illusion it was 3 minutes, but it really wasn't, obviously. We do need to go over the collective bargaining agreement, which was extended. I believe it was extended by 4 years. Now, it's going to sound really funny, so I'm going to basically talk about the CBA, and then I'm going to talk about some signings that were made today, and you guys are going to think this is like hyperbole, like this is like fucking weird. So all I'm going to say is the key changes that were made to the CBA are they are increasing the season length to 84 games per team. I guess preseason's being reduced by 4 games. They are also shortening the maximum length of contracts. So the team that has the player can basically sign him to a 7-year deal, whereas the team that doesn't have the player, if they hit the open market, is able to sign him to a 6-year deal. They're saying additionally a playoff salary cap will be introduced to prevent teams from exceeding the salary cap using long-term injured reserve loopholes. So yeah, that's actually a good one. I don't know much about some of these long-term injury reserve loopholes. I do know Tampa Bay was one team that used it. There was another team, I believe it was the Vegas Knights, that used it as well. So I think that's a positive move. Because teams were using that to, from my understanding, to stash players or something. Sage, maybe you can give a bit more insight into that, because I'm not overly familiar with it, but I do know that that's like a good move there. You know what I mean? They're also saying that, I'm just going to read it here. This is just from some sort of AI thing. Last part here. The agreement also includes other modifications such as standardizing draft pick rights until players turn 22 and allowing full-time emergency traveling goaltenders. It was obviously announced before tonight. So there you go. That is the new CBA stuff. Now, what's funny is now what we're going to talk about is a couple signings that were made today. So Sam Bennett signed a 8-year contract worth $64 million to stay with the Florida Panthers. We kind of expected this all along. Sam Bennett, obviously playing for Florida, good player. He won the Conn Smythe this year. He's not as great as I thought he was. So I kind of feel like these types of contracts can get you in trouble. But before I go into that, I'm just going to look at what Sage is saying. So Sage is saying teams like Vegas would put players on the long-term IR so they could trade for a legit player using that long-term IR saved cap. Then playoffs come along, and now they have that player back. Well, that doesn't seem right that they can use it in the playoffs. The playoffs. That is greasy as hell. And Tampa Bay did that to the Leafs too, I believe. I remember hearing some conspiracy theories about that sort of thing. So that is kind of bullshit, man. That should never have been allowed to begin with. Why would that be allowed that you could... Your cap is your cap. How did the playoffs not have a salary cap? So I could just fucking... Florida did it this year as well. Who did they do it with? No, you shouldn't be able to do that. That's like... And then as soon as the playoffs started, he was fine? So are we talking like a guy has a day-to-day injury? Or do they even have to be injured to be put on the long-term IR? See that I don't like, because that actually... You get Seth Jones, that's a huge game changer. Like... That potentially is the difference in why the Leafs didn't win the Cup this year. If we're being honest, like we're being objective, like that's a big get. Seth Jones is a hell of a fucking defenseman. That is some shady shit. I don't like that at all. Yeah, like you talk about like maybe you're a little banged up, like you got like a fucking... I don't know, like a fucking contusion or something. And it's like, oh, I've got this fucking contusion. Well, yeah, we're going to shut you down for the last fucking 2 months, and we'll bring you back for the playoffs. You'll be well rested, and we're going to pick up this guy too. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Not on my fucking watch. Good on you, Gary. Good on you, Gary, for cracking down on these fucking schmucks. All right. Let's get to what's kind of funny. So we went over the CBA. Kind of the changes there. Oh God, we've got another comment by Sage. Sage is taking this really personally. So Mark Stone was on Vegas, and he was always on the IR because he made a shit ton of money. Oh God, so they're just stashing that cap away. Yeah, no, your cap should be what your cap is regardless. If you need to pick someone up, you pick up someone who's on a vet minimum. Or you trade someone who's actually good to get guys that are younger, and you throw in some fucking draft picks and do it the old-fashioned way. Yeah, like that should never have been a thing. I don't know who created that loophole, but that is, when I say absolute, and I mean absolute fucking dog shit. That is fucking horse shit right there. That's something you should be like, okay, it happened 1 year because of a legality, obviously, right? So you legally didn't put like something in part of the contract. That should have just been like, all right, we need to fucking fix this. This is a big fucking deal. Let's take care of business. Holy fuck, man. That's... All right, let's pivot off that stage. You're getting me angry. I'm trying to have a good fucking time tonight. Trying not to be angry. Trying to lower my blood pressure. But this is going to be a funny one. So, Sam Bennett signed an 8-year deal, $64 million. He had 25 goals, 26 assists in 76 games this year for the Panthers. He did take home the Conn Smythe Trophy. In his career, I thought he would be better. So in his career, he's got 336 points in 691 games. To me, that seems like a lot of money to pay someone that, you're kind of a fringe second liner, in my opinion. it's not a good contract because you're paying $8 million a year for someone who is not that good. Yeah, but kind of when we compare it to the John Tavares contract, it's going to look a lot better for the Leafs. John Tavares took a huge discount. I'm just saying, you can get into trouble with these types of contracts, though. I know, I mean, I get that he's two-way, all that sort of stuff. I'm just saying, like, a guy that's only averaging .55 points per game, to me, that doesn't move the needle. That's not someone that's worth near $10 million a year, in my honest opinion. I think that's got the potential, you know, especially he's turning 30 soon. It's got the potential to weigh you down later. You pay top money to superstars, and this is getting close to top money. Because like, what's Mitch Marner gonna get? You know, 13, 14 or something. Like, what's Austin Matthews making? No, I understand that John Tavares is 5 years older, but John Tavares signed a 4-year extension, not an 8-year extension. So that's gonna take him to his age 38 season. So pretty much the same. And he's getting paid $4.38 million per year, and he's a center who had 38 goals this year and 36 assists. So he had about a point per game, whereas Sam Bennett only had about 0.6 points per game. You know what I mean? That's my point. Is that if we want to talk about someone that took a discount to play with the Leafs. It was John Tavares. You know what I mean? Like 4.38 to stay with the Leafs. Like that to me, that's a better value signing than Sam Bennett. That's the only way I'm going to put it, because like, yeah, he's going to decline sooner, but this guy's going to decline the last 4 years of his deal too, right? So, and he's not even where Tavares is currently. So. And he's a winger, I believe, too. He's not a center. Centers are better players. Let's not, kid ourselves there. Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but then in 2 years, the fucking $4.38 million's dirt cheap. You know what I mean? That's just my point. I don't necessarily think that you should pay that much. Dan, do you want to grab one? I don't think that you should necessarily pay those types of players that money. Now, again, I don't know much about the NHL salary cap. I just know that I want Mitch Marner gone. I can tell you that much. I do not want Mitch Marner. But, no, I mean, it's good for them to keep Sam Bennett. They also have to, try to keep Brad Marchand, as well as that... They've got another UFA that they need to keep. So they're just trying to keep their team. That's all they really can do at this point. So, I'm not saying it's a bad sign. I just think that those types of deals can get you in trouble when you're paying top dollar to people that aren't top players. Now, the one thing I was hoping one of you guys would notice was, did you notice how many years that contract was for? How many years was that contract for? I can announce the contract again if no one was listening. You guys notice that the contract was for 8 years? And the new CBA, for Sam Bennett, 8. So Sam Bennett signed an 8-year deal. Now today the CBA says that basically it's 7 if you stay with the team, and 6, if it's a signing, like, you know what I mean, like from another team. So when does the CBA kick in? Does that kick in next off season? Because it obviously is not kicking in this off season. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking about Bennett signing an 8-year 64. We'd be talking about 7 years 56, right? Should be next season. Okay, I was just wondering because, it was just... I just kind of found that funny when I was kind of looking at it there. So Bennett's back in Florida, so Florida looks like they are definitely going to try to continue being a dynasty, and they have been a dynasty so far. Sage, I do want your thoughts on John Tavares and the value of his deal. Can we agree that that's pretty damn good fucking value that the Leafs got for him? And can we also agree, question number 2, that he could have made more on the open market per year, maybe not more than 4 years, but per year he could have easily probably taken six a year, I think. I'll wait for Sage to reply, and then we will move to the next topic. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. 6 to 7, maybe even more, because, like I said, he's a point per game player, and that's a center too, right? So I think that's a great signing for the Leafs. Good value, and I think that's the type of signings they're going to have to do, because I'm not a big fan of Mitch Marner. I know he's talented. I don't think he's the type of player we need. Everyone talks about Matthews and all this shit, but Marner's the type of player we need to let walk, and we need to just build depth. And we just built depth today because we're going to have money to spend elsewhere. So I love the signing. I'm certainly not a homer. I will fucking rip the Leafs whenever needed. But let's turn our attention to Edmonton. Another 8-year signing. Trent Frederic re-signed with the Edmonton Oilers. 8 years, $30.8 million. 27-year-old forward had 8 goals and 7 assists in 58 regular season games. So to me, he doesn't like. Why? I've got a question here. He's only making $3.85 million per year, and I know that's a lot of money to real people, but why are we signing guys that are like kind of shitty? 15 points in 58 games. So you're talking about 0.27 points per game. We're signing them to 8-year deals, even if it's for $3.85 million. Why are we signing fucking plugs to fucking 8-year deals? I'm sorry, but I don't understand the signing. I'm not saying he's a bad player. Maybe he could play defense or some shit, but why would you sign this guy to an 8-year deal? That to me makes no sense. I mean, that's fine, but you got to sign him to an 8-year deal? That's just, to me, like, no. I'm not signing this guy to an 8-year deal. He can fucking take 2, or he can fucking hit the bricks, and I'll sign someone better than him. Yeah, 8 years is like a little long in the tooth. We both agree. Like, that's. I'm not talking money, you know. I'm just talking the term of the contract. That's like, holy fuck, man. You really like your third line players. What else do we have here? We've got. This is a trade I don't know anything about, so I might need some help with. The other trade we've got here was one that did affect the draft tonight, so let's go after that one first. So I believe Sage might have messaged me with this trade today. I think he did when I started. So Noah Dobson was traded to the Montreal Canadiens from the New York Islanders. And then he also agreed to an 8-year, $76 million contract. So that has an annual value of $9.5 million. He is a defenseman, based on my understanding. Again, I'm not up to hockey 110%. And he's young. I mean, he's 25, 39 points in 71 games. So he definitely is moving the needle in terms of an offensive player. On defense, you know what I mean. I don't know how he is on defense. I'm going to guess he's pretty good, though, if he's getting, damn near $10 million a year. What did they trade also? I know the 16th and the 17th pick of the draft were swapped back, and a forward named Emil Heineman. I have no idea what Heineman is, so he's probably not a great player, given that they had to give up 2 firsts as well. Heineman had 18 points in 62 games. He's 23, so he's not a very good player. So, in my opinion, Montreal wins that trade because those fucking draft picks most likely don't become a goddamn fucking thing. Yeah. I understand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The other trade here, I don't know if this is a big trade or not. So, what the fuck here? We've got Charlie Coyle and Miles Wood traded to Columbus. Okay. They received Galvin Brindley, a third round pick in the draft, a conditional second round in 2027. Are any of these players even worth talking about? So it's just a cap dump for the Avalanche. Are any of the players notable? Like, I don't really feel like going into their stats if they're just like kind of a cap dump sort of a trade. Like, are either of these teams even any good? Columbus or Colorado? I think the Coil's solid. All right, we're not going to do any sort of deep dive into that. So let's move off that. NBA, we already took care of that. Let's go. So the Avs are good. Oh, yeah, they went out first round to Dallas. Yeah, you were saying that was one of the best rounds that we saw this year. I think we had that, and we had the Leafs and Panthers up there and that sort of thing for good rounds last year. Let's take a look just quickly at... let me just check ESPN, see if I missed anything. Nope, ESPN has been good to me, so bye-bye ESPN. I closed that tab. So many tabs, man. I hate having all these fucking tabs. All right, tonight the Jays did win 9-0 over the Boston Red Sox. They improved their record to 44-37. Bo Bichette was 2 for 6. Addison Barger was 1 for 5. Vladimir Guerrero was 2 for 4 with 3 runs scored. We've got Rodon 1 for 1 after pinch hitting. Kirk continues to be hot, 2 for 4. Average is at Austin 316. We've got George Springer 3 for fucking 5, so he did well. Arnold Clement 2 for fucking 2. Good work there, Ernie. And then we've got Andres Gimenez 3 for 4. He needs to stay hot. He did get a walk as well, but OPS still only at 583 for him, so he's got to put some sustained drives together, if you ask me. Jose Berrios was great. I mean, he obviously let no earned runs, had 8 strikeouts, 4 hits, and 1 walk. The rest of the way, I mean, it's a shutout, so it's going to look good for all these fuckers. Nick Sandlin was no earned runs in 1 inning with a walk. And then Schultz, I don't know his fucking name. He's a reliever. Who cares about relievers? Had no earned runs in an inning. Their stats all look pretty fucking solid. So I would say that we are now at the halfway point of the season. So I did promise that we would go over the MLB standings at the halfway point. So let's kind of go up. Let's go over that now. So let's start with Well, we're going to start with the big dogs, right? We're going to start with the American League East. So we've got the New York Yankees with a 47-34 record. They are 1.5 games up on the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, who are 46-36. 3 games up on us, who are 44-37, us being the Toronto Blue Jays. Boston is 40-43. They don't have a chance in hell. They've lost 6 in a row. The Baltimore Orioles, who are the biggest surprise to me this year, they are 35-46, which is just completely unexpected, honestly. In the American League Central, we do have the Detroit Tigers. They're a very good team, 51-32. And then everything else is a crapshoot from here. So Cleveland Indians are 40-40. Minnesota 40-42, Kansas City Royals 38-44, and the White Sox have eliminated themselves already 26-56. In the AL West, we've got they're great, absolutely. In the AL West, we've got the best team ever created, the Houston Astros, at a 49-33 clip. They are up above the Seattle Mariners by 6.5 games. Seattle sits at 42-39. The Los Angeles Angels are 40-41. They will not make the playoffs. The Texas Rangers also won't make the playoffs as well. They are 40-42. And then the Oakland Athletics, who've got some firepower. They got some firepower in the offense, but they're 33-51 because they can't pitch. So that's the American League. Let's take a quick look at the National League. Then we'll just take a brief look at the wild card standings, and we'll try to figure out who's buying, who's selling, who's whatever. You know what I mean? The Philadelphia Phillies are a damn good team. They are 48-34. They have a half-game lead over the New York Mets, who are 48-35. The Atlanta Braves just can't seem to get it together. They're 37-44. The Florida Marlins, not Miami Marlins, are 35-45. I don't know if he did. I don't know if Kurtz did. I don't know if he did. But the Miami Marlins are 35-45. Nationals, I was expecting a bit more out of this year, are 34-48. So they're in the basement of that division. The Chicago Cubs are doing good this year. They're 48-34 as well. They've got a 2-game lead over Milwaukee, who's 46-36. Cardinals are in it this year. They sucked last year. They're 45-38. The Cincinnati Reds are above 500. They're 43-39, and they do have some young, dynamic talent. So I'd love to see them kind of put something together. I've always loved the Reds. The lowly Pittsburgh Pirates are 33-50. Go figure. And then we bring ourselves to maybe what is potentially the best division in baseball right now. You've got the Los Angeles Dodgers 52-31. They have a 6.5 lead over the San Francisco Giants, who are 45-37. San Diego Pirates, right there, Padres, 44-37. They're only a half game away from the Giants. I think it's safe to say Arizona's going to lose because they've got Corbin Carroll, and Corbin Carroll's just not capable of leading the team. So they are 41-40. And then we've got the historically bad Colorado Rockies at 18-64. So let's just take a look just quickly at the wild card standings before we pivot to a better league. So right now, if the season were to end today, we got someone chiming in. Oh, Carroll's like he come back before the All-Star break or right after. You know what I hope happens? I hope that when he comes back, he fucking shatters his fucking tibia. And he never fucking plays ball again. I don't like Corbin Carroll. I fucking swear to God, if you fucking guys were to pitch in $5 and see if Corbin Carroll would sign a birthday card for me, I would fucking set that fucking card on fire. And then I proceed to fucking come at fucking Corbin Carroll's fucking left ACL one more time. Let's pivot off Corbin Carroll, guys. There's business. This is a business. All right. So if the season were to end today, here's how the standings would unfold. So Detroit would be your number 1 seed in the AL. You'd have Houston as the number 2 seed, and then the New York Yankees as the 3 seed. The wild card teams currently would be Tampa Bay, Toronto, and Seattle. So on the outside looking in, we currently have the Cleveland Indians, the 500 record, the Los Angeles Angels, 1 game under 500, the Minnesota Twins, 2 games under 500, the Texas Rangers, 2 games under 500. Now the Red Sox are the next team. We all know the Red Sox are selling, so let's not even go over that. So we're going to say, for playoff sake, the Red Sox have been eliminated. Okay? Now, music to your fucking ears. They've been eliminated. So who are we really competing with? I would say Cleveland is a legitimate team. I think they will stay in the dogfight for sure. I think the Angels will fall off. Texas could stick around, but I'm not really trusting them a whole lot. But I think they could stick around. And Minnesota could stick around. Now, I don't think any of these teams have the upside of being great, with the exception of Cleveland. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how this unfolds. But I would say Cleveland, Minnesota, and to a lesser extent, Texas. Well, I wouldn't even say to a lesser extent. Those are your three teams that are competing with, the Rays, the Blue Jays, and the Mariners. So, as a Blue Jays fan, I would say if you told me that we were in this position halfway through the season, there's no one that would say, like, well, there would be, because there's, like, fucking idiots that are like, yeah, we need to win 110 games each year, which will never happen. But I'm just saying, I think if, as a Blue Jays fan, you kind of like where you're at. You're definitely going to be buyers at the trade deadline, which takes place in a month. In the National League, it actually is a bit funner of a run. So, let's take a look. So, New York Mets, number 1. We've got Milwaukee Brewers as... Oh, shit. I'm looking at the goddamn wild cards. That's my bad. The Dodgers are obviously the number 1 seed. We got the Cubs as number 2. I do think Philly will end up as the number 2 seed. They're a better team than the Cubs. New York Mets. Okay. That's a wild card team. Milwaukee Brewers. They're in there. San Francisco Giants. They're in there. And then you kind of look at this, and this is like, holy fuck. You've got the Padres half game out. You've got the Cardinals a half game out. You've got the Cincinnati, not Bengals, the Reds, 2 games out. You've got Arizona 3.5 out. And then you've got Atlanta, who's 7.5 out. They're 7 games below. Atlanta's going to need a huge win streak, so I'm going to say right now that they're eliminated. Arizona, based on some of the injuries that they've had lately and such, I do not expect them to get into this race. Could they? Absolutely. I just don't necessarily see it coming. I would say the Padres are legit, so they legitimately could unseat any of these teams for the wild card spot. The Cardinals definitely seem legit this year. And I do trust the upside of the Reds. So to me, those are the 3 teams that should be buyers. I don't know how the Cincinnati Reds GM is going to work. I think he's a bit of a frugal GM as well. So I'm really not sure. If they'd be big spinners, but they should be. They should try to make a trade or two, maybe fix up their pitching a little bit and see what happens. So kind of like 3 teams from each side that I kind of like, just through the halfway point. Again, a team could go on a 20-game win streak, and that could completely change my perception of things. But that's currently what I believe halfway through the year. We're going to turn our attention, though, to a better league, bigger and brighter lights. That is the Pete Rose Bowl Cut. And I didn't set my roster for tomorrow, so I'm certainly going to set it right now so I do not forget later. Everyone, if you're watching right now and you are a part of the Pete Rose Bowl Cut, I'd like you to set your fucking roster, okay? With all due respect. Set your fucking roster. Alright. The roster's set. Let's go over the scorecard here. And let's see, who's taking care of business and who's not. We do have a move to announce. Oh, yeah, okay. Why do you have to do it when I'm fucking streaming? Fucking save it for after the fucking stream so I can break it tomorrow. Now I gotta break more fucking news that I wasn't planning on. Currently, we've got the Rod Fathers up 14-0 against the Dark Sliders, which probably prompted the move of Lance McCullers coming back to their team and Tomoyuki Sagano being dropped. Don't do that again when I'm on a fucking live stream. Don't ever fucking make a move again. It's illegal. Vlad the Impaler's up 13-2 against Graham, who doesn't set his roster. We will have to replace Graham next year. We've had great activity from every GM this year except him. No offense, Uncle, but start fucking setting your goddamn fucking rosters. Tommy Callahan's Auto Parts is up 10-6. Bases loaded IBB must have had a great day today. And Alejandro's astounding team up 12-4 over Annette's awesome team. So Annette gained a win today, as did Bases Loaded IBB. Now, Ben Brown was dropped by Annette's awesome team. So we need to look up and see, is this a good drop? Because I don't know who the fuck Ben Brown is. So let's just verify it's a good fucking drop. He's got a 6.13A, so we're going to call that a good fucking drop. Lance McCullers is being added by Dan. What are you doing, the spot starting stuff? You're doing the spot starting stuff? I've never heard of Ben Dover. Who's Ben Dover? Never heard of Ben Dover. Next time you drop a player, make it so it's easier for me to fucking type their fucking name in. How the fuck am I supposed to fucking type in Tomoyaki Sagano? Like, what the fuck, man? Alright, so this is a weird drop because he's got a 3.55 ERA. 50 strikeouts, 83 and 2/3 innings. A 1.2 whip. Okay. Well, let's see what McCullers is doing. Let me guess that the other guy just pitched and we're just streaming now. The other guy's got a 4.9 ERA, 1.4 whip, and 39 strikeouts and 29 innings. So the only benefit you're getting from Lance McCullers is that he strikes out more per inning. Let me just see if he's stacking his... Let me just see what happened today. I bet you Tomoyaki Sagano pitched. Okay. So we're trying the streaming option. So he pitched today. Let's guess that Lance McCullers pitches tomorrow. You're pitching him right off the IL? I'm sure that's not going to bite you in the fucking ass when he's playing against the goddamn Chicago fucking... when he's playing the goddamn... he's playing the Cubs. All right, I'm all right with that. You want to do the streaming game? Oh, yeah, I'll do the streaming game if needed. I hope Chris Bassett gets fucking lit up tomorrow, you fucking son of a bitch. I really fucking hope so. Let's see. Do you know what? I've been in playoff mode for the last fucking 10 years. I'm always in playoff mode. Even in the off season, I'm still in playoff mode thinking about what I can do to better my fucking team. So, yeah, there's that. You've been in playoff mode for 5-6 weeks? I live in fucking playoff mode. So please, don't hit me with that fucking rubbish. Alright. I need to ask Sage. Did I cover everything eloquently? Did I cover every... Okay. You know, what you guys do could really, do some harm to you. That's not a threat. I'm not threatening to hurt you guys. But if you keep fucking with me, something bad's going to happen. Okay? I'm just saying that's karma. That doesn't mean I'm going to fucking put you in an ankle lock and snap your ankle off. I'm not going to put you in a goddamn fucking guillotine choke. I'm not going to put you in a fucking Alvin Kamara. But if you keep it up, something bad's going to happen. I'll do worse than smash their car. Never mind. Yeah, over the years. Poor playoff. Yeah. Okay, so I'm Aaron Rodgers. I'm the MVP. But then again, we play the San Francisco 49ers every year. We get injured. We can't play fucking defense. We forget how to play ball. Is that what you're fucking saying? It's hysterical. I can't wait. It's going to be nice when we have the first televised championship. And I get to hoist the Pete Rose Bowl, the Pete Rose jockstrap, so high in the air. I can't wait to do that. You have no idea. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I just talked it into existence. That's what I'm doing right now. I've got to do a little ayahuasca later. I'm going to look at the wall, and I'm just going to picture myself winning championships. The golden jock. The golden jock. The golden goose. will be on the loose until I capture it. So that's what's going to happen. All right, guys, we are going to do a Balatro round. Sports have been covered. We have a comment saying, I have a hell of a Balatro run going on right now. Well, feel free to report it. While I'm doing a Balatro round, I would love to hear your guys' input. Not that I like hearing your input, but I would like to hear what you guys think are some good games to buy for the Steam sale. Because there are a lot of games on sale, and I want to make a little thunder splash. I want to make a little thunder splash. Okay? Just wait. No, Sage, I promise we are going to do the Red Dead Redemption. I'm doing this so that we can do Red Redemption. Give me a minute. I need to fucking piss. Alright, here we go. We're going to do Bram Poker. Dead Space. What is Dead Space about? Jagged Alliance is still on sale. Super Mega Baseball, though, it's too cartoony. I don't know. Let's just everyone cheer for me tonight. So once I get these challenges done, I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left to do, because I've already done Jokerless on video before now. So Jokers are no longer in the shop. I remember the mistakes I made last night. Not gonna happen again. Almost happened again. What do you mean, oh brother? Sage, it's really not that bad. See, I've gone through 12. I've gone through 12. And this has been only a week. I want the Balatro out so so Nathan can do what I asked him to do. But tomorrow, alright, maybe I will break it up tomorrow though. But it's just easier if, like, I mean, there's gonna be a Balatro challenge each night for sure. Maybe we'll just become a full-time Balatro channel. What's this Days game like? This Days game any good? It's like a zombie, and there was one Nathan found too. I don't know much about it, man. I don't really pay attention to this shit. I just do it, so I'm gonna get paid, right? That's why I do it. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Shout out Marshawn Lynch. let's hope we have some luck here. There's another one Nathan was saying. I forget the name of it. No, not Rust. No. It was a zombie apocalyptic game. I'd have to play back the stream to know, Sage. I'll figure it out. What are all these fucking games? Send one more message so I can actually read it, because the heart gets in the way. Alright, so you can buy one Nintendo Switch game. Yeah, but... Or you can buy Grizz, Badland, Fallout, New Vegas, Outlast 2, Valvirus, Shovel Knight, Treasure Trove, Fuck Titanfall 2, Turnip Boy, that's a weird name, Axiom Verge, Peak, Kyrion, and Dead Space. What do we need for it to run properly now? So we might not be able to have it run? Why would we need mods? I think Nathan said the same thing actually tonight. Oh. Well, that's kind of a bitch, ain't it? Fucking stability mods? The game's a 2010 game. What the fuck we need stability for? Refund it. Well, try it first. What the fuck is Frostpunk and Frostpunk 2? What the hell are you talking about over there, Zao? Why is this cat such a fucking idiot? Just blocking out my fucking light. Fallout 4, is that one of the shitty ones? It is one of the shitty ones, or isn't? Oh, okay. Isn't 76 one of the bad ones? Some of those got such bad ratings, like, I don't know. Fucking idiots. Bunch of fucking marks programming these days. Oh, shit launch, okay. I thought Frostpunk was Cyberpunk for some reason. It was that bad, huh? What is this war of mine you speak of, son? Well, you should check if the other one crashes first, just to see. There's only one way to find out. That's to launch her up. Alright, what do I do here? I'm going back a hand. Sorry, I gotta build this son of a bitch up. That's a 12, so I mean that's doing its fucking job. Why does the cat have to lay right in front of the fucking light? Something not right with that fucking cat. I don't know if this could be risky. I'm just curious. This is for science. That worked out. That could be a game changer, though. Wow, what a risk. What a risk to take there. Wow, my heart's... It's palpitating right now, boys. We're really spending up against the cap here. Ooh, we're pushing it. Now I think this is an appropriate question. We're doing it for good journalism. You guys ever hear of that journalist? He was an ESPN announcer. He was a football announcer. He got fired because he said that hole was so wide open a quadriplegic could have run through it. That's a real story. That really happened. You guys ever hear that? I forget his name, but I did fact check this. This really did happen. I personally think it's a good analogy. Probably shouldn't say it if you're doing TV, though. Kind of like my jokers here. Kind of like my odds. We just need more chips more than anything, and we should be on our fucking jolly fucking way. Let's see how we do. The rest of the game, we're just gonna fucking play pairs. Well, that's exactly what I want to see. Ooh, all right, one hand type. Well, we're gonna go with our pairs here. Should not have a problem beating this one. Let's say we're now ahead of schedule. We need one more joker, and we need to upgrade this little fucker. That has me pondering right there. I'll ponder a little longer. It would just be a discard. I don't really need that many discards at the moment. okay. Let's just see how comfortable I feel after this one here. Let's just see if I play a 2, is that going to get me what I need? Okay. It would be lovely if I could get a fucking chips joker. I'm going back again. Going back in ante. Alright, that should easily do it. I think it's the right move. I think that's the right play, man. Keep building these 2 fucking red card jokers up and just have a fucking field day. Sorry, can't buy ya. Nope, can't do that. Alright, let's see what happens. All face cards. This one's going to be an easy one. We'll be as quick as we can. Yeah, our high card is higher. Now we skip. Skip. Alright, let's keep moving. Let's play a pair. This will score a ton of fucking points. If I get 1 chips joker, I mean, this is gonna be a good fucking run. Sage, are there going to be many NHL trades tomorrow? Alright, 66 each. They were trying to hype it up tonight like there was going to be, and I was just thinking, no, I don't think there's going to be a ton of trades. Like, maybe picks, you know what I mean? Like picks getting traded, maybe, yeah, but I don't think you'll see like real players getting traded. Oh my god, it's gonna be fucking exhausting doing some of this fucking the Tuesday stream. We'll talk in private. We'll try to figure out what we're doing on the Tuesday stream. I do think it needs to be a long, probably a long stream. I like how I'm scoring right now. Might be a 1-for-1, hopefully tonight. We'll see. Love my malt. Love my malt. I mean, I like what Masai Jerry did for us. I'm just saying. What have you done for me the last little while? It does matter too. I think I've got that enhanced pretty fucking good. Love it if I can get a goddamn chips joker. I don't think that's gonna fucking happen tonight. Just want to test it out, see what my high card's getting me. Alright, so high card's doing pretty damn good. Man, my malt's looking really fucking nice. There's me a little fucking chips joker. Is that so much to fucking ask for, Jesus? Come on. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. That malt's at pretty much 3. We've got 2 for a pair. Plus we got all these little fuckers. 90 here. Shout out to TJ Watt. We need to go all in. Fuck it, we're gonna do this. Okay. Alright, I think we're in good shape here, ladies and gents. I guarantee fucking to you fucking win. How's that fucking sound? By a fucking mile. I'd close my eyes and win this fucking game. You guys should be happy about that. The more I do good at these challenges, the more we get to play Red Dead Redemption. So, start cheering for that. I do have a bounty on my head, which I'm not proud of, but it happened. It happened. I would definitely call myself a sharpshooter. Absolutely. Shout out Brett the Shitman Shart. Yeah, I'm just going above and beyond here. Above and beyond. Probably just gonna have to one-hand this little fucking bitch. All right. Well, there you go. You got to walk off fucking win one fucking game. When you guys aren't heckling me, I do seem to play better. That doesn't mean I can't handle the heckle job, but that's a walk-off right there. Sons of bitches. Good night. Good afternoon, good morning, and good night. Boom. Hit that one right on the fucking screws. Gonna quickly check something for Nathan because I noticed his game speed's a little slow. What is my game speed at? Game speed at 2. Perfect. Play it at 2. Don't play it at his speed. Don't play it at Dan's speed because you won't like it. Alright, that's it. We're calling it there. We'll be back tomorrow, shortly after midnight Eastern Standard Time. And, oh my God. Please, before we leave, please tell me there's not please tell me there's not going to be like 6 rounds of fucking NHL to go over. Is it going to be 6 rounds of fucking NHL to go over tomorrow? Please tell me no. Even if it's a lie, just tell me no so I can sleep easy, okay? Oh, fuck me. Alright, we'll be back tomorrow with 6 rounds of coverage of the fucking NHL Draft. And we'll provide the greatest insight on the goddamn internet. Alright, have a good night, guys, and see you tomorrow.